The conflict around the Strait of Hormuz continues. What alternate views can one gather around this very conflict? Does this conflict have anything to do with de-dollarization? One can interpret the ongoing conflict in the Middle East in many ways based on who stands to benefit from the disruptions in the near, medium, and long term. While many market commentators see the Israel-US-Iran conflict to be just that, with discussions probably circling around uranium enrichment, some disagree. These experts see US's involvement in the conflict to be aimed at China. How so? The US's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz appears to confirm this hunch for many analysts. They see this as US's attempt to claw back control over petrodollars from the petro-yuan market. Remember here that most of the world's oil is traded in dollars. This keeps the US dollar relevant for transactions, for liquidity, and in turn lets the world depend on the US economy. Crude traded in yuan is seen to threaten this. Until recently, China imported nearly 90% of Venezuela's and 90% of Iran's oil exports in yuan. And therefore, many see Strait of Hormuz as a proxy war between US and China. Further, news flows around the US's increased operational access to Indonesian airspace confirms this hypothesis for many. Why? Because of the Strait of Malacca. It is interesting to note that the Strait of Malacca handles higher volumes of seaborne oil, 35%, than the Strait of Hormuz, 25%. While the Strait of Hormuz is a supply bottleneck, Strait of Malacca is a demand bottleneck. Again, why? Most Persian Gulf produced oil needs to pass through the Strait of Hormuz to reach global markets. But Strait of Malacca is the shipping artery for Gulf producers selling to Asian consumers who are the largest buyers. Yet another view speaks of China waiting it out, expecting the prolonged fighting by the US to deplete its resources and eventually lose dominance, just like the UK lost its dominance after World War II. Subscribing to these alternative views would mean keeping a close eye on the de-dollarization narrative. Could the UAE withdrawing from the OPEC recently be a sign of similar things to come?
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.